Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. It used to be the case that if you're a financial advisor and you're into cryptocurrencies, you encourage your clients to invest in Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP or name your crypto, you were looked down upon. And actually, if many of your customers knew that was your position, they would lose confidence in you as a financial advisor and invest elsewhere. And it's getting to the point where you're seeing an exact flip-flop of that position, to where if you're a financial advisor and you don't think that your client should have any exposure to the crypto asset class, you might not know what the hell you're doing right here. And institutional money increasingly is flowing into XRP, and I will continue to highlight that on the channel as the evidence of such presents itself. I've got a story also about the very famous financial guru named Rick Edelman, who's talking about the idea of Bitcoin specifically being mainstream. And of course, there won't be one coin to rule them all, and so as long as XRP continues to be functionally useful, I don't believe that it will go the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature. And what a beautiful, majestic creature it was. Actually, those things look weird as hell, man. You should look them up. They deserve to be extinct. And was that too far? Was that too far? Screw you, birds! But anyway, there's that. I want to highlight, there's a story from mainstream media about a particular fiat currency just being completely devalued, which to me, it's an important thing to keep your eye on, because like you talk about the value of cryptocurrency, like one of the things that makes it valuable is it's the monetary policy that's built into it that can't just be changed on a whim by humans, running a government. If you think that that doesn't represent value, holy hell, yeah, I got another thing coming right here. And then there's this headline from Crypto Globe titled "Pantera Capital CEO Explains Why He is Bullish on XRP." And I've actually talked a bit about this recently, but there's an awesome quote in here I want to make sure I highlight as well. Before we go any further, though, if you would please delicately tap the like button, I would appreciate the support. And I also recommend highly that you treat yourself, girl, by subscribing to the Moon Lambeau channel. Take my free content, damn it. The price is right. I do want to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I just think it's fun to talk about this stuff as an enthusiast and make YouTube videos as a hobby. It's my most favoriteest hobby ever, but that is all that it is. I want to take just a really short period of time here to highlight this. From crypto media outlet U Today, major risk, hacker allegedly leaks database of Ledger users. Now, this is important to the XRP community, I know, because so many XRP community members do use Ledger hardware wallets, and I'm always going to use my platform to try and protect my fellow XRP community members where I can. And so I just wanted to let you know that there is a hack of Ledger allegedly here, and the information has gotten out. So check this out. According to Hudson Rock CTO Alan Gall, a malicious actor has leaked a database with personal information of Ledger users. It allegedly contains over 1 million emails as well as 272,000 phone numbers and physical addresses. And Gall warns that the leak poses major risks to Ledger users since they could face cyber or even physical harassment. While the information in the database will not be able to compromise your wallet, cryptographer Nick Bougalis claims that it will be deployed in social engineering attacks. By the way, Nick Bougalis, he's an employee at Ripple running their C++ team, I believe. And so he wrote the following: the information in this breach will not directly compromise your Ledger device, but it will be used, in fact, it's already being used, in social engineering attacks. So you can expect to get emails that look like they're from Ledger, saying, hey, you need to take action for so-and-so, your account's compromised, this or that. You could be getting text messages from them, perhaps. There's all sorts of scams out there. So just know you will never, ever need to type in your seed phrase or private key anywhere, period, ever. If somebody asks you to do that, they're trying to steal from you. So just be diligent out there. Just want to highlight it. End of this piece from the Daily Hodl. Rick Edelman says Bitcoin now a mainstream institutional investment, but massive risks remain. Rick Edelman, the investment icon who has been named the country's top financial advisor by Barron's 3 times over, says the conversations surrounding Bitcoin are doing a 180-degree turn as more institutions invest in the flagship cryptocurrency. On an episode of Salt Talks, Edelman highlights that Bitcoin is beginning to attract financial advisors for two big reasons. Check out this quote now. The upside potential remains very, very big for Bitcoin, and it is the outsized potential of returns. The stock market makes 10% in a year. Bitcoin routinely moves up or down 10% in a day. And so it is the potential for outsized returns. It is the number one performing asset class of the last 1, 3, 5, and 10-year periods since inception. And many people believe it's still in its infancy. So there's a tremendous opportunity for that. Okay, so that's exactly what I've been saying for the whole time I've been running this channel, which is just over 2 years. The reason, in a nutshell, that there's so much opportunity is, first of all, obviously there's something to the crypto asset class, and people are placing a general bet on that. That's why the market moves in tandem. The reason that you can get these lopsided gains compared to other asset classes is because there's so little money in here. It doesn't take much to move it around. And you've got, on top of that, whales that are intentionally manipulating and shaking out, your unsuspecting retail investors. This quote continues, though. The number one reason that advisors say they are interested in this is the fact that Bitcoin is uncorrelated. Its price movements have nothing to do with anything else, not with the stock market, the bond market, interest rates, inflation rates, economic policy, Fed action, nothing. And if you truly believe in diversification, you want uncorrelated and even better non-correlated assets in your portfolio. And that's where I'm willing to be persuaded, but I've never found this argument to be compelling personally, because how about what happened in March as a perfect recent example? In March, the stock market tanked and crypto immediately followed. What do you mean not correlate? That's the definition of correlation, right? It's been moving up, and we have seen that. And so I strongly dispute that. And if there's some sort of evidence that I'm missing, again, I'll be happy to be open-minded, but I'm not seeing it, guys. And then you could talk about, okay, well, how is it going up so much over the last decade? It has to not be correlated. Well, I still dispute that because we're just talking directionally where it's going. In terms of the percentage gains, that's just because there wasn't much money in it in the first place. So you still get those opportunities for asymmetrical gains, but directionally, it doesn't mean that there's not a correlation. But anyway, the prominent investor says that as big institutions pile into Bitcoin, a massive legitimization of the leading cryptocurrency will take place. And here's another quote. The conversation is shifting from you're conspicuous if you own it to you're conspicuous if you don't. And I think that trend is going to continue even further. Now that you can buy Bitcoin at PayPal and you have MicroStrategy, for example, investing over $500 million, we are clearly in an environment where Bitcoin is now mainstream, and this legitimizes the asset. And there's going to be a continued snowball effect of this where people will begin to realize it's routine. Just as the gold ETF made gold a routine asset for portfolio diversification. The first 2 weeks, that ETF raised $1 billion. So yes, I do believe we will continue to see broad diversification and greater mainstreaming by institutions, endowments, pension funds, insurance companies, and so on. And that's why I always like to point out, my friends, look, I agree with them here. This is directionally where we're going. I've been highlighting evidence like every day for over a week straight now. It's what it feels like. I think that's actually probably literally true. And I'll continue to highlight it as opportunities present to themselves. But it's just striking to me that retailers hit the they hit it first before the vast majority of institutional players and also publicly traded companies. We're here first. We're here before the most of the money that will ever be in the space. We're here before it came in. And so that's why I keep saying, it's my humble opinion that those that pick cryptocurrencies that deserve to have long-term viability and they just have a long-term mindset, those are the people that are going to make an absurd amount of money. And it is a real thing. If you invest enough and you pick the right coin and you hold long enough, you can make millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. And so that's why, for me, recognizing that emotional humans, they FOMO in and they panic sell and they chase whatever is shiny and pumping at the time. These are all things that are going to result in financial devastation. And so I'm just not going to participate in any of that stuff here. Now, shout out to the Rock XRP who tagged me in this next piece along with a few others. And I don't really want to read through a whole lot of this. I just wanted to highlight this because it gets down to one of the reasons that there is true value to cryptocurrencies. And I do differentiate between value and price. Price is just the open market price of a cryptocurrency at the time. And when I say value, I'm talking about, actual utility, a reason that people would want to hold it, outside of purely what the market price happens to be. And so you can see here from ABC News, Iraq's central bank devalues dinar by 22%. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I can't remember, but it's their fiat currency. Anyway, they devalued it by 22% amid public anger. Iraq's central bank on Saturday announced it will devalue the Iraqi dinar by over 20% in response to a severe liquidity crisis brought on by low oil prices, a measure that has sparked public outrage as the government struggles to cover its police. And they go on to cite here, like, riot police were dispatched outside the central bank headquarters. And so what you're seeing here is monetary policy that the people don't care for. And a solution to that, it requires, I think this is the only fix, frankly. I mean, you can talk about gold, I guess, but a decentralized cryptocurrency, right? There's not a whole lot else. Because you could even argue, even if you think land's awesome, and it is, there's a finite amount of land, fine. Property can still be seized too, but with cryptocurrencies, you can't seize it. If you just have your private key in your head and it's nowhere else, nobody can just take that, right? And depending on the rules set up at inception by whatever cryptocurrency you're talking about, there could be either certainly a finite amount of cryptocurrency, and in some instances, like is the case with XRP, it's a deflationary asset right there. And so you don't have to worry about this type of manipulation by governments. And so if you think that cryptocurrencies, especially as they continually are adopted over time, if you think they're not going to be appealing to people, especially where they're suffering the most thanks to the poor decisions of central banks, this is going to result in organic growth. That's the broader point that I wanted to make here. Cryptocurrencies are not going away, and it's mind blowing to me that I was born in a time where I get to take advantage of the fact that this once in a species event, the advent of cryptocurrencies, I get to be here while it happened. I'm blown away by that. It's surreal, and that's why I try to appreciate it sufficiently every day. Because people are going to look back 100 years from now and wish that they could have been here to engage in this opportunity for transformational wealth. And so I know I'm not taking it for granted, but I hope I'm sufficiently appreciating it. Into this next piece now from Crypto Globe, Pantera Capital CEO explains why he is bullish on XRP. In a recent interview, Dan Moorhead, the founder, co-CIO, and CEO of blockchain-focused investment firm Pantera Capital Management LP, talked about XRP. Moorhead's comments about XRP came during an interview with former hedge fund manager Rob Paul, who is currently the CEO of finance and business video channel Real Vision. According to a report by the Daily Hodl with regard to XRP, Moorhead said the following. Here's a direct quote. XRP is accumulating the cross-border money movement that everyone in the industry has been talking about for a long time. Currently, blockchain-enabled cross-border money movement from the United States to Mexico is getting close to 10% of all of that very important $25 billion remittance corridor. So it's huge success for our industry, for a use case that's really making people's lives better. Exactly. So what Ripple is doing is helping some of the poorest people on the planet. Ripple is a force for good, and that's why I get so frustrated. One of the reasons with the Bitcoin maxi trolls, where if they could just snap their fingers and make XRP go away, they'd do it, which is evil because it's helping poor people. It's just ridiculous to me here. But so here is a recognition of the real world utility of XRP. Where the vast majority, the thousands of cryptocurrencies out there, they functionally don't do anything. They're science experiments. But here is a real world example of a cryptocurrency being used in enterprise-ready software for commercial purposes. It's absolutely staggering what's happened in such a short period of time. And so there's never going to be one coin to rule them all, but for certain problems that can be solved utilizing a cryptocurrency, there could be one winner takes all. So for instance, and here in this case, we're talking about positioning a cryptocurrency as a bridge currency. There could be a winner takes all in this category, and XRP currently is the only cryptocurrency being positioned for this particular use case, which might sound wacky, but it's real. You know, there is. You can even talk about Stellar. It's not being positioned for the same case. Like Stellar's mission primarily is cited by Jed McCaleb, who started Stellar. It's to essentially bank the unbanked. And here we're talking about positioning XRP as a bridge currency. So I don't really see them as directly competing for the same purpose. And even if they were, Stellar Loom is not being used as a bridge currency today. It isn't. So even if it's allegedly a competitor, even if they were going for the same thing, it's not getting used. So I'm just saying, interesting times we live in. But I will go ahead and wrap up there. Thank you for stopping by, my friends. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.